Hello, welcome to the Love Your Lawn podcast. My name is Loudon Granger. Thank you for joining us here today as we talk about movement, Miles, and Medina. If you want more lessons ranging from life to lawn, be sure to like and subscribe and check the notification icon on the Hope Network to stay up to date with all of the stuff we're dropping. Let's go. Movement. We were meant to move. You know, it's likely that our ancestors would walk up to 10 miles every single day. Okay? And that was normal for the human condition back then, the hunter-gatherer societies. They would walk together and they would look for resources. Hunting, foraging, perhaps exploring, looking for different water sources. And they would learn from each other by cooperating to achieve different goals and communicating and observing different things and just overall experimenting, okay? And they did this, all of this, while they were on the move. 10 miles a day. Now, if you contrast that to the days of the modern human being, okay, we don't walk 10 miles a day. On average, scientists say on average the human nowadays walks 2 miles a day. Okay, some more, some less, but on average it's 2 miles a day. That is quite the difference than 10 miles. All right, we have planes, we have trains, we have cars and buses, and we all come together. We can travel more than 10 miles a day, but we're not walking it, that's for sure. And when we're together, we're not learning from each other as much either. I mean, if you look at the airport, you see people on their phones. You look at a bus, people on their phones, they got their headphones in. Even when you watch people driving down the street in the car, they're looking at their phone. Like, it's actually shockingly dangerous. But definitely, we're not moving as much physically as we once did. How can we fix this problem? All right? With more on this topic, let's pop over to our good friend, Mr. Incredible, a.k.a. Tom Murphy. Take it away, Tom.
Dude, what are you doing in here?
Exercising,
Why?
because I have to make up a gym class
So they make you walk on the treadmill
or do any other one.
or do any of the other things. Thanks, man. So you actually got to make up a gym class by doing
Physical activity.
physical activity. Why?
Why? Because it's good for them. Because it'll increase the oxygen to the brain and help them do better out in school.
Do you know what the number one brain rule is for learning?
What's that?
The number one brain rule for learning is motion. John Medina, in his great book, The 12 Brain Rules for Learning, says the brain was designed to learn in an ever-changing, unstable outdoor environment in nearly constant motion. There's only one place in education that ever got it right, which was
Physical education.
physical education. And I always say physical education is the most social and emotional place in the entire school. You agree?
Makes sense. 100%.
You're retiring. The new teacher is walking in the door.
Yeah.
You got your keys in your hand. You got to drop them in their hand.
Yep.
You got to walk out and you're done. What lesson do you give them?
I give them this. Find what the kids like to do. Find a way to get them active doing the things like they like to do. Give them the choices and they'll do it.
Yeah, give them the choices. Find what they like to do. From a Springfield graduate. Go Springfield! Wow. Making up a gym class. That is definitely an interesting concept for sure. Definitely is. The brain appears to be designed to solve problems related to survival in an unstable outdoor environment, and to do so in nearly constant motion. Okay? That was John Medina, molecular biologist. John Medina, who wrote Brain Rules, molecular biologist. He studies the brain at the molecular level, at the cellular level. And this is what he's came up with. So it seems that all the work John Medina's put into studying the brain rigorously, he came to the conclusion that, we are meant to be moving. Now, he is not the only one who's come to that conclusion. Socrates, a famous Greek philosopher, thought that walking was a way of life. Okay? He famously often walked as he would think. Okay? Suggesting that walking was a natural and comfortable way to think and discuss ideas and learn. Okay? So he thought walking was directly related to how the brain operates. So maybe you go on a walk to help solve a problem that you're dealing with or working on. Okay? You can use walking or movement as an ancient tool to your advantage, okay? And by doing this, you'll develop the core human skills of responsible decision making. Instead of just flying off the handle and making an irrational decision, perhaps you go for a walk and you think about this and you contemplate and you suggest to yourself maybe different ways that you can handle this way. And you use this day in and day out anytime you're kind of facing a tough fork in the road where you need to make a decision. You can use walking to help cultivate responsible decision making. Perhaps you bring a friend with you, like Socrates was known for doing, walking with a friend, discussing something that's getting to them, or just generally connecting like our ancestors did, okay? And when you do that, you work on your relationship skill building, okay? So you're building good human bonds with another person, building a relationship. Or another way you could do this is you could use walking as a tool to go alone and ask yourself some serious, tough questions and ponder them and meditate on them and walk around and think about that and develop your own ability to analyze yourself and become self-aware. All right, so these are all great ways to use the tool of walking. But regardless, we were meant to move, so it's time for you to get some movement. For our activator portion of the show, we are highlighting some fun movement done and that can be done in the classroom. Introducing this activator called bear-cowboy-ninja.
We have one that we've been playing for years, bear-cowboy-ninja. You take two students, you put them in the center of the room, and it's essentially going to be like your old-fashioned duel. You know what I'm saying? Like this town ain't big enough for the both of us type thing. These students are going to hear bear, cowboy, ninja on those words. They're going to take a step each time away from each other. Now the last thing they're going to hear is turn. Now when they turn, it's sort of like rock, paper, scissors. They're going to do one of three things, which would be bear, which is like the roar, cowboy, which is the lasso, and sort of like a yeehaw, and then ninja, which is some sort of like karate chop or kick with the hi-ya. Bear beats the ninja. It's just bigger than the ninja. Cowboy's going to beat the bear because it doesn't need to go near the bear. It can get it from far out with the lasso. And then the ninja, if the cowboy tries to use that lasso on the ninja's just going to get out of the way. It's too quick. Now, the only difference between this and rock, paper, scissors, besides the fun motions that are going on, this is the biggest difference, is that the winner, if it's a tie, is decided upon by the class. So when it's a tie, you don't just jump right to, okay, let's do it again. Whoever the rest of the group is decides was the better version of that thing. So if one bear goes rah and the other bear goes rah, that one's probably going to be the one that's chosen. Once it's taught, they all know it, then it can be used for situations where you would typically use rock, paper, scissors, deciding on who's out in a game. Deciding on who gets to be it, deciding on who gets to facilitate circle that day. We'll play around to bear, cowboy, ninjas instead of just that boring rock, paper, scissors. Bear, cowboy, ninja, turn.
Fire style, fireball
I think missed it on that. That was missed it.
Two ninjas.
Come on.
All right, give it up for this ninja. Give it up for this ninja. All right, new defending champ. All right, that's two. It's over if she gets the third one in a row.
Mr. McCormick, go, Mr. McDonough.
Mr. McCormick, get up there.
You go, you get up there, bro. Come on, Mr. McCormick. Is this beer for sure?
Very much so. You ready?
Okay.
Bear, cowboy, ninja, turn. One again. There's three in a row.
Now that we have completed our activator portion of the show, we're going to jump right into our circle weaving segments. And today's topic is, why do we even start with an activator? Okay. So starting circle with an activator. Why do we do it? Because as we've discussed, the brain, when stimulated by motion, it develops and it becomes a more optimized state of being for learning and sharing, cooperation, connecting, communal aspects, all stimulated by motion, okay? That's what sets the stage for us. Think about this. The heart rate's increasing through this this motion. We're playing a game. We're activating. Okay, my blood's pumping. Oxygen's being carried all throughout my veins, all throughout my body. It's rushing to my brain, and my brain loves that oxygen. It loves it on a cellular level, just like John Medina talks about. Also, think about this. We're designed to be moving, and when we're moving, we have this extra capacity for community and relationship skill building. Okay, and if you get us moving, like our hunter and gatherer ancestors, walking 10 miles per day, coordinating with each other, connecting with each other, learning from each other, learning from their environment. Okay, that is the prerequisite. It's all based upon moving. Okay, it's all based upon movement. Okay, so although our circle group isn't walking 10 miles together today, we will be connecting, and it is your job as the weaver to set the stage by getting everyone moving before you begin. Remember this: do not just jump into your questions. Don't just start talking about your guidelines. Don't just start talking about your talking piece. Be sure you activate this ancient feature in our brain first. And that closes our circle for us today. In other news, Plattsburgh High School has officially begun their 6-week Brave journey. So the Brave program is in Plattsburgh, and Pat Fish is in Plattsburgh, New York, working with the high schoolers as they teach and act through their bully drills with the younger elementary students. Very good for them. Good luck to them. Hope you have a great time doing it. Just letting you know, this Brave program is a great example of learning through movement, okay? Because what the Brave program is you're working on these bully drills, these life-saving skills. You're giving the youth, the younger students, strategies to stop bullying and jump into action. But you're not doing it just sitting them down and lecturing them. You're having them move, okay? You're having them play through these scenarios in a fun and engaging way, all right? In a great environment with their peers too, where they can be a little silly, they can test some boundaries and stuff. But at the end of the day, they're moving. And if we learned anything from John Medina, he has taught us that the brain was literally designed to operate through movement like this. So we encourage you to go out and take a walk like Socrates, or maybe even move a little bit more out of your normal routine and see how it makes you feel. Take note of how it helps you learn and deal with different things in your life. So that's our advice to you. Awesome. If you want your school to be featured on the Love Your Lawn podcast, be sure to shine some light on what's going on at your school. Send us an email to the address in the description below. And remember, loving your life starts by loving your lawn.